Welcome, and in today's video I fly from Terminal 3, I eat dim sum for breakfast, I stretch out in Finnair's A350 business class suite, and sample a local Finnish tipple. If this sounds good, then stay tuned as we fly with Finnair on their A350 from London Heathrow to Helsinki. So today, Terminal 3 for a very nice change as we head off to Helsinki with Finnair today. Terminal's pretty calm actually, and whilst I didn't need to check in, if you do need to check in with Finnair, I think they're normally in Zone C. I didn't have any bags though, so straight to security for me. And here's the jet we'll be flying on today. I actually caught it as it departed Helsinki to come back to London after I arrived. Anyways, here we are, headed for security in Terminal 3. Most rotations between London and Helsinki are in things like an Airbus A320, but today we're flying on the Airbus A350, this one being 5 years old. There's a couple of rotations per day in the busier months, and I've decided to pick one of those today, not least because I wanted to try out Finnair's business class product at the same time. Airside at Terminal 3 was much busier, so nothing else for it. Let's head straight to the lounge, and because I'm flying business class today with Finnair, that affords me access to the Qantas Lounge. I've also got status as a One World member, so I was able to take in one of a number of lounges in the immense lounge complex at Terminal 3. Just look at all of these different airline lounges. I think there's about 4 to choose from if you're in the One World Alliance. If you're just flying on a business class ticket and you don't have status with One World, you're pointed towards the Qantas Lounge if you're flying with Finnair. It's a decent lounge, and actually most of the time that I've been in here before, it's been really quiet. I would suggest it gets much busier when there are Qantas flights actually departing, not least as Qantas continues to use things like the A380. The view isn't brilliant, it's through these tiny little windows, but that didn't bother me too much as it was a really grey day and, well, I had champagne to keep me company. I really enjoy making these videos, not least because I get to have the odd glass of champagne, which is very nice. But do like and subscribe if you enjoy my content and want to see more in the future. And also massive thanks to those of you who already subscribe to me. I'm so grateful. Thank you. My One World status gives me access to any of the One World lounges at Terminal 3. So whilst I was here, and actually in fact before I went into the Qantas Lounge, it was only right that I quickly visited the Cathay Pacific Lounge. This one, for me, the best lounge probably anywhere in the UK, aside from the fact that you can get freshly cooked food, you also get a wide cocktail selection, and the ambience and seating is just excellent. Also, just look at that view. I visited the American, British Airways, Qantas and Cathay Pacific Lounge on my travels today, just simply to do a quick review to see what they're all like, and I'll put a video together in the coming months to share my views on what each of those lounges is like, although I've probably already hinted as to which of the 4 is my personal favourite. Anyways, here we are headed towards our jet. As with most airports, the lounges are always miles away from wherever your jet is parked, but that gives you an opportunity to do a little bit of plane spotting on the way. Never such a bad thing. As I wander through the terminal, I can say too that this is a really good value business class fare at just £65 and 18,000 avios, a real bargain. Our jet was departing from gate 24, and it turns out this is a bus gate, you'll see there on the left. Lots of different flights were departing from the same area. I was really surprised how busy this area was, and equally really surprised that so many airlines bus lots of people to their long haul jets prior to departure. Logistically, that must be a nightmare. It was soon time to board, and as a business class traveller, I was in Group 1. That just meant that we got on the first bus to the jet, and here on the left hand side you can see our Airbus A350. I've mentioned on lots of my videos that I really enjoy boarding aircraft via the steps. It always feels really strange when you're doing so with such a big jet as the A350, and actually today not as fun as usual, not least thanks to the lovely British weather today. Just look at that jet. And also, I'm just about to board, and one of the things that struck me with all of the people I came into contact with at Finnair is they're all really friendly. So watch out for a cameo appearance from this gentleman who also was very friendly. Here we are boarding our A350. I received a very warm welcome on board and was confronted with this amazing looking cabin. Just look at this. Seat 5A for me today in these very unique non-reclining business class seats. They've caused quite a stir, I think, and some people really love them, as I actually do, but many don't appreciate them quite as much as some of the other products that are available. But I really like the suite, and not least because of the view. Let's do a quick seat tour then. So here's the remote control for the TV. You've got USB-C and USB-A power alongside a power socket that's underneath where the seat is. There's a reading lamp should you need it. And on top of that, you've got other cubby holes. This one included a nice bottle of water. The footwell is pretty big, and also the seat comes with 2 pillows. These turn out to be pretty essential. As the seat doesn't recline, you tend to use the pillows to give you the angle that you wish in terms of how you sit or sleep in the suite. And now we move on to probably my favourite feature, and that was the tail and nose cam. I absolutely loved this. I've never flown on an aircraft that's had one before. Here we see some other poor passengers probably getting very wet as they boarded at Heathrow. The IFE was really impressive and very responsive. There were lots of the most modern films available for viewing. Equally, of course, The Big Bang Theory 2. I'm guessing they sell their rights to pretty much every airline in the world. Additionally though, there were other really good bits of information, including the menu, and something that I found really helpful is they also show you how to get connected for Wi-Fi. These suites are very private, but they've clearly been really well thought out. Just look how the tray table folds out, but can be moved so that you can still get in and out of the suite, even if you've got something on the tray. I just thought that was a really clever attention to detail. They provide you these rather cheap earphones, although they kind of did the job, and you can also charge your mobile phone wirelessly. Very clever indeed. And yes, it's still raining here in lovely Britain, but we're pushing back on our journey now from London to Helsinki, a flying time of around 2 hours and 55 minutes. Because this enormous screen doesn't move, it means you get gate-to-gate entertainment, and we got to watch the safety video from the comfort of our seats. Taxi time, and we headed out to the runway. Here's where the Tailcam comes into its own. As you can see, many jets ahead of us there waiting to depart. I absolutely loved this feature. So this is the second time I've flown on an Airbus A350, so as ever I'll silence for the takeoff, and that's quite important because the sound of these Rolls-Royce engines spooling up is absolutely incredible. I've also added the footage from the Tailcam as well, so hopefully you'll forgive the slightly shaky camera work in that video that's up in the right hand corner, but I thought you'd appreciate seeing both. Anyway, press silence for the takeoff. A lovely smooth takeoff, and just look at all of that condensation gathering in the engine and over the leading edge of the wing. You'll see too brilliant views of Heathrow Airport below us. We were soon starting to gain altitude, but headed into lots and lots of cloud, although that gave way after a short while to these beautiful blue skies. Just have a look at this as we burst through the clouds into this beautiful blue landscape above. As we were cruising up to our flying altitude, I messed about with the in-flight entertainment again and found that the Helsinki flights and connections were all listed, which I thought was really helpful. I was connecting in Helsinki to Amsterdam, so it was really good to be able to see that my flight was not only on time, but also I had a view on what gate it would be flying from. Really good. Now, I mentioned before that this seat doesn't recline, but a piece lifts up from underneath the seat to cover your thighs, and then this small piece lifts up so that you actually form a completely flat surface that then turns into a flat bed. I actually left mine like this for the whole flight because it was really comfortable. Think of it as sitting in a really nice big chaise longue. We were given a hot towel, and go on then, what film was I watching? Let me know in the comments. The crew on board were lovely, and I asked what a traditional Finnish drink might be for the drink service. I was given this grapefruit gin. It was absolutely delicious, and that was accompanied by a packet of pretzels. About 30 minutes into the flight, I was then served this. This lovely, lovely meal was accompanied by a lovely bottle of rosé. The rosé was very nice, as I'm sure you can see from my expression. I keep referring to these as suites. Now, they don't have a door, but you'll see here they're so private. I actually couldn't see what anyone else was doing, and indeed they wouldn't be able to see what I was doing either. I thought that was a really good piece of the design. Even standing up or moving around in this way, you still really can't see other passengers, which is a really good feature of the seat. I spent my time messing around with the IFE, and you'll see here that I spent a lot of time looking at the outdoor cameras, which again, I've said it before, were brilliant. We were then served dessert, which was a traditional Finnish pastry, and yes, I had another small bottle of rosé too. Now, from this beautiful view to a loo with a view. Another first for me. This is the first time I've flown on a jet that's had a window in the toilet, and a very nice toilet it was too. I know lots of people do loo reviews, but I really just wanted to take a picture to show you that this had a window. What a feature! As ever, all too soon we'd started our descent, but proactively, before we landed, the purser came up and offered me one of these. It's a bit like Bailey's, but it's the Finnish version, and I have to say it was delightful. The crew also came round with these chocolates, which also tasted lovely too. After taking in some of the glorious Finland scenery, we were soon on short finals for our landing at Helsinki, following a flight of around 2 hours and 45 minutes in the end. As I reflect on the flight, I have to say this has probably been one of the best flights I have taken in probably 10 years. All made much better by the brilliant and proactive crew that we had in the business cabin today. The cost today, of course, at £65 is very reasonable, but the ground experience, the boarding process, food on board and the seat itself have made this a brilliant trip. I know the seat has its critics because some people don't like the fact that it doesn't recline, but for me personally, I thought it was very private and very spacious indeed, so I'd certainly choose this on particularly a long haul flight in the future. I've even said to the wife that we should fly via Helsinki onto the Far East for future trips. The service, to me at least, was that good. I'd love to know if you've also flown Finnair recently and what you think of their long haul aircraft product. Let me know in the comments. A lovely smooth touchdown finishes off what has been probably one of my favourite trips in many years. I've really enjoyed the flight today and really appreciated, by the way, you all being along with me to enjoy it too. It was a beautiful day in Helsinki as the sun was just starting to lower in the sky. So once again, here we come to the end of the video. And firstly, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support and appreciate the fact that you're watching my videos. If you have liked what you've seen and you're not already subscribed, please do consider subscribing so that you can see more of my content in the very near future. Again, thanks so much for watching. See you soon.